Hey, very good morning and good evening, everyone. Welcome back or welcome to the first session. So I think we have waited for a few minutes so we can get this started for today's session. So today is going to be a very introductory session that you're going to be few parts, by the way. So what is the things before DevOps and how DevOps is evolved, and also what are the tools that we are going to learn in this particular training is another important thing. And if you have any questions, by the way, we'll try to take it up at the ending. Okay, so just just to complete the content or discussion in time, by the way. So we'll take the interactive to the little ending for today, and then we'll take it further. Okay. All right. I think let's get it started. So myself is Raghu. So I'll be the trainer for this particular whole training, and I'm having close to 17 years of experience in IT industry, and I'm a working professional, and I've been doing the part-time trainings from quite some time, and I delivered many of the batches, by the way, for different technologies that I've been working on, mostly around the engineering. And from past 9 years, I stick completely to the DevOps with cloud-based trainings. Okay, and like I mentioned, I'm a working professional, so most of my last decade experience is mostly into the fintech, so the enterprise organizations. That enterprise knowledge will definitely be helpful in terms of delivery, by the way. So in explaining you the different concepts or the different ways of using the things at an enterprise scale, by the way, majorly. Okay, so that's what it is. And let's come to the today's agenda. So today's agenda, like, we wanted to understand which market is providing a job for us. Someone is giving us a job. That means there is certain business which is involved there. And which business is actually giving us a job? There are many areas, right? So who is the guy who is providing us the job here? And the area which will turns out will be software development lifecycle. So wherever the software development happens, there you're going to get a opportunity to work as an engineer, by the way. Okay, let's do little deep dive and understand. So in the software development also, there are many areas, by the way, right? There are a few areas of development. So for an example, you have a development team which can develop a software for desktop. Okay, that means like typically like you can take like you install a Chrome software in your system, like let's say MS Office inside your system. So that is the kind of a development. Or else, so you have a web-based applications, like you're accessing Amazon.com, LinkedIn.com, okay, Google.com. So these are all .coms you're accessing over the web. Web-based applications are also there. Okay, and you also have mobile also generally comes in the web category only. You don't need to really specify, but yeah, there is a mobile has an interface, by the way. Mobile has its own development thing, and mobile behind the scene also, it is the same web technology only. So there's nothing. I don't want to categorize as something. Maybe today you can consider so the most famous, like you can have is AI ML. Okay, so kind of a softwares which is developed can be hosted on the servers. Okay, like this, so different software categories is also there. But our major target over here, which will be focusing, and in out of all these, by the way, the majority turns to be a web-based applications. So today, if you access any of the application, now you're attending the Zoom software or you're attending the session, maybe behind the scene it is Zoom, but it is being embedded in one web application. You're actually attending the session over the web application, right? So likewise, web is a kind of a trend, and not only new, by the way. It was a trend from quite some time. Like so if you look, this trend started in late 90s, especially when certain websites like Yahoo, Amazon, eBay, okay, such kind of famous websites has proven, okay, the web-based applications can be having a potential in doing the business better. So that's where today everyone is trying to become web-based applications. So you take any ecosystem also, it's all web-based applications, right? So today, if you are in India, so I mean, India has emerged as the the largest digital transaction system in terms of payments, by the way, right? So now Indian application stands in the global first place in terms of volume of transactions, especially the NPCI, UPI, if you take it. Okay. So it stands in the world's first place in terms of transactions. Okay. The number of transactions. I think you have on average 7,000 transactions per second. 7,000 transactions are happening on UPI every second. Okay. And, on certain days, by the way, we have seen a load of 10,000 transactions also. Okay. So, which is a huge volume, right? And I mean, such kind of applications, all web-based applications, the transactions are completely happening over the web. Okay. So this web-based trend is 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 the trend, or it was the trend for quite for some time, and it is eventually going to move further only, right? The web-based trend. So the kind of application which is made as a um, web-based application. Now it doesn't matter the interface you are using is a web browser or a mobile application. It's just an interface only. Okay, but behind the scene everything is same. Okay, so that's how it is. Now these applications also need to be developed, right? So it need to be developed. It can be developed in two possible ways of development. One as a monolith development, other one is a microservices development. So that means, your whole software can be made as one big piece, or else you cut down into pieces. Either of the way you can make it. Okay. Now you take Microsoft Office. It's a big monolith software. You take Microsoft Windows. It's a big monolith. They can't run on microservices. Okay. So likewise, different applications has different needs. And so microservices is also another trend that is happening. That doesn't mean the whole world is running on monolith or the whole world is running on microservices. It is going on as per the needs of the projects. Okay. So, and some of the projects are between monolith and in between microservices also there. So not exactly to the extreme left or extreme right. So they are in the middle also. Softwares are there. Okay, you take Microsoft Windows again as an example. They provide one big piece as a software, but eventually they provide the continuous updates. Like every week, every month, they'll send you an update. Some other update they'll send you, right? So that's how, there's not a complete monolith as well, isn't it? So when you are making certain softwares, okay, so it's a choice made by the development team, architects, by the way, which way they wanted to take it up. But if you look at the trend, most of the people are moving towards microservices. Okay, not essentially they have to move, but it has certain advantages, especially from the business perspective as well. So trying to do as much as microservices possible because it has its own advantages. Like once you cut down into the pieces, you have an advantages on certain things. So that is where, okay, so the microservices may be or not maybe, by the way, is the trend in the market. It's been there for more than a decade now. Okay, so people are, whenever at least any provider want to do a redevelopment, they are looking towards microservices than monolith, by the way. Okay. So are somewhere in between, like I mentioned, right? So that's how it is. Now these microservices, when we talk about, I'm sure that most of you would have heard about this word microservices. So that means so all the parts, rather than making as one big piece, they'll make it in small pieces. And these small pieces work together. Now we're talking about small piece and the volume of the small piece is very high. Okay, let's look at some of the websites that we use every day, by the way. For an example, like you have Netflix as an example. They're telling that, hey, I am having 1,000 microservices to run my Netflix thing. And so Twitter is telling that, I'm having 1,200 services. These are all Google blips only. I did not actually got anything. So this is all I just typed in Google, I'm getting the answer. Uber is telling 2,200 critical microservices are there for their applications to run. And also on the clustering parts as well, like, Kubernetes is one of the tools that you learn in the training. So Merge Bench which is more of, IoT kind of a project, like, they collect a lot of data from their cars, by the way. So for running their things, they are having 900 Kubernetes clusters are there for them to run inside. Okay, so inside Mercedes-Benz. So imagine the volume is not small, right? The volume is big. Okay. So even though we're talking about small microservices, okay, we may be thinking it's all small. No, things are going to be, massive, by the way. So you get into any company, by the way, any enterprise company, you name it, it will be always in hundreds only. A small scale company only I'm talking about. Okay. So you go for a big scale, so it's going to be massive number of services they'll be using. Okay. So that's where it's always more and more generally. Now you understand imagine the height of, or the length of, or depth of, okay, I could not say length and depth, by the way, but yeah, let's imagine how big it is, right? Just imagine, okay, so how big it is. Now okay, how actually such big projects are actually being built. Okay, right. So let's go it in a very simple engineering world. Engineer means, like, back in days, like, he's an engineer means he construct. That's it, right? So typically, like, if you understand, he's an engineer means he's an engineer that actually constructs something. Okay, he's only the guy who earlier, at least to my knowledge, when I was a kid and all. So when I say someone, he's an engineer, he is an engineer that, he construct buildings, roads and infrastructure. This much only he'll do. We don't know all this software engineer. Okay, so other, like, other engineers, like electrical engineers, such kind of words are very less, actually. I mean, at least to my, when I was a kid, right? So just go to the fundamentals of the engineering. It's all about construction. Now imagine the construction that you need to do, like, so 1-2 microservices, which is 1-2 floor buildings, versus the, so 1,000 microservices, which is 1,000 floor building, right? Or something like that. Now just imagine how complex it is, actually, right? It's not so easy as well, right? So you should have certain practices in order to reach to that level. So strong foundational practices, and such practices will become as a methodology. And there are two methodologies comes here, which is as a waterfall model and agile model. In both the models, by the way, so we do the software development, okay, with certain so proven guidelines and things like that, some practices. Now inside this, okay, so in the software development, so there used to be teams, actually. Okay, so how the teams used to be is, there is a business analyst. Okay, there is a business analyst who is actually going to collect the there's a business analyst who is going to collect the business requirements from the business people, and he is going to yeah, so there is a business analyst, and who actually gathers all the required requirements from the market, and uh, he will convert that into requirements he will convert those as a requirements in what do we say, in a way that, developer will understand. Okay, so that's how it is. Just my slide is little stuck. Yeah, that. Okay, so that's how it is. So he's a business analyst, and after that, so we are having who, by the way, so we are having architects. Okay, so just that's what I told, right? So we are having architects like decides, like Monolith we have to go, microservices we have to go, so which technology stack I have to use, Java I have to use, or which database I have to use. A lot of senior people will be there who are architects, actually, by role. So those guys will design the things of the every requirement. And once they designs, by the way, so the developer will come into picture and start doing the development. Okay, so this is how it is going to happen. And after that, the QA people will eventually be there. They do the testing, so understands it's actually working in all the logics and all. And finally, it goes to the people who actually maintains it. Okay. Now, what do we talked about? We talked about a web-based application. And with the web-based application, in order to access that web page, somewhere it has to get hosted, right? Isn't it? So if I'm accessing google.com, so some site actually it is hosted. Okay, some site in the sense like some data center site I'm talking about. Okay, somewhere physically on the server it is hosted. Now that physical server you need to maintain. There is a DC team comes into picture, data center team. Okay, and once the data center comes in, okay, you need to bring that all the machines into network. So network team is there. So then you install OS team is there. Then you'll keep some middleware, okay, which is maintain running the application. By the way, middleware team will be there. And usually, like, every applications has the databases, DBA team will be there. And you need to do the backups, and you require storage to store the data, storage team, backup team. Okay, and the security is also very important because it's a web-based application. You should not lose any uh, you know you should not have any sort of problems. Right, so that's where okay, we are going to have different teams. By the way, now all these particular operations teams need to work to make the website up and running. Okay, this is the thing. Now this is the scenario in the waterfall model. Now during next agile also, people came with the same approach only. Okay, so when they went to move on to the agile, they also came with the same teams. Waterfall model was already happening from decades. In when agile methodology also comes into picture, the teams were there at the starting. But slowly what is happening is the phase of agile delivery is much shorter, okay, comparing with waterfall. So waterfall takes 1 year, 2 years of time for the development, but agile will take only 2 weeks of time, or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, like that only, of time only to release a new features or new fixes of the application and all. Okay, so very shorter time, by the way. So now shorter time, okay, so dealing with these many teams was the challenge, by the way. So that's where they need to evolve and bring certain more practices, and that's where DevOps as a practice, it will come into picture. Okay, now where this DevOps is actually coming from here is, and in this area, okay, so the engineers who are actually doing a traditional way of the work has been replaced with a new process kind of a thing, which is a DevOps, and those engineers is now called as DevOps engineers. Okay, and so those guys are actually doing all the work which is being done by different team, by the way. Okay, and also if the security also is a very important aspect, and now security is actually coming into the maintaining that particular application into your role. So that's where you become a DevSecOps engineer. Okay, so our course is also about DevSecOps engineer. But you fundamentally should get a question that, hey, okay, earlier so many people are doing the job. Now I'm a single person. Can I do the job? Yes, you can able to still do the job because there is a maturity in the market because of especially the cloud offerings. Whether it is a private cloud or public cloud does not matter. The maturity was there in a way that you are working, right? So there's always a maturity. So, I mean, generally in this area, we talk about a basketball example, right? I hope everyone knows the basketball. Now, um, basketball actually, when it was started, it was literally a basket only. Okay, a ball in a basket. So that means there used to be a person who actually is a role to remove the ball from the basket. Okay, so there used to be a role. Then after 17 or 19 years of the basketball invention, people, okay, or someone thought that, okay, why you need to have a person, just removing the ball, just remove that basket, by the way. I mean, just cut down, make a open basket. The ball goes in and comes down, right? So it took 19 years for the people, okay, to come with that particular thing. So there was always a maturity, right? Now the maturity, okay, so the cloud brings in, okay, so all these things are necessary. No need to do some of them, and some as out of box servicing from the cloud, by the way. All you need to do is just the manage part. All right. So that's where, as a DevOps engineer, you majorly deal with the microservices, dealing with the cloud. And if you are a DevSecOps engineer, you add the security aspect also to your uh, uh, security aspect also to your mm, to your role, by the way. So security aspect too. Okay. So that's how it is. And general DevOps market, if you can type in the Google, you get these blips. Okay. So generally, like, engineering roles. Okay. So maybe the influencers, they keep everything, whatever they want in the YouTube. Okay. This is dying, that is dying and all, because those guys are never working. That is the problem, right? So whoever is influencing, they don't know the real, real, what do you say, color of the industry, because they are not in the industry. Okay. They just run the content, and that is the problem. So a working guy is, things are much, or his way of understanding the things is much different with the other side, right? Now recently in the CNCF also, CNCF is one of the good community that develops very good tools. Like one of the big tool is Kubernetes, as an example. In CNCF, CNCF meetup actually, so someone has actually presented uh, a blip saying, even I copied from there literally, so from there. Okay, so the screenshot. So the talk is about DevOps won't die. Okay, so why it won't die? It's as simple as that. It's an engineering role. Like, so these web applications will not shut down all of a sudden. Okay, so now they talk about AI. AI is also requires engineering. AI is not just running like that, right? Someone has to host a machine. Someone has to host LLM. Okay, someone has to do the releases of LLM every day. AI won't do all those things. Okay, so AI job is completely different, by the way. So it's all about, so building the intelligence with the data that you provide. But in order to build it, by the way, you have systems, you have softwares, okay, you have developers, you have testers there also, you have security team there also. All these things are involved only. So it won't die. So this diagram itself is, is a very interesting diagram. I mean, the evolution of a insect. Actually, I don't remember that insect name, but so it just changes its shapes from different ways. So there was an ops. Okay, then we called out DevOps. Okay, now we are calling it as DevSecOps also, add some security. And it will move to some, like, MLOps, AOps, so it still be there. Engineering roles will be there. Okay. But however, there are many reasons that bubble came and gone due to many reasons. Now, let's not talk about that. Okay. So that general bubble. See, as a DevOps engineer, okay, so once upon a time, as an engineer, I felt very bad that, I'm not getting highly paid. Seriously. Okay. So because when I was a software engineer role, when I started my career, okay, so engineers doesn't have that much value. Okay. So I mean, we have been doing the job, so no one really, appreciated the work that we used to do. But all of a sudden, there was a need in, this role more and more. So, unfortunately, we became little. I mean, we came into little limelight for some time. That's it. Okay. So that's the only reason. But otherwise, for me, there is no. Uh, I mean, what do we call surprise, or there is no. Uh, yeah, I can put like this. There is no surprise stuff for me that, so DevOps is, so DevOps is dying, DevOps is not dying. I've been seeing that also, right? So when I apply for a role actually as an engineer, so a lot of people doesn't even care about my resume as well. Seriously. Okay. So we used to get very less jobs if I go back and look in, okay, as an engineer. But some of the work which I do, people are interested. For an example, from the starting of the engineering, I used to do so deal with the systems. Now the system engineers are, if I keep a resume, I'll get 100 calls for system engineer. But for a software engineer, I used to get less calls. And that was a time. Okay. But anyhow, the things changed and all it's become. So there is no uh, okay, there is no too much prominence I wanted to give to the demand side, by the way. Is always been moving in a slow pace, and it will be like that. Suddenly some spike and came up and down. Okay, that's okay. Now the whole point out there is, yes, okay, so there is a new type of development coming into picture, which is AIML kind of thing which is happening. So maybe last at least when I started my career, I have seen the so full cycle of web applications majorly. Now we are seeing that the AI as a trend. Maybe this also will continue, right? So, and for some days, maybe something else also might come in. That's okay. Well, a lot of things are coming in, right? So these are just on the GPUs. People are talking about quantum computing, and there's also one more computing also came in. Okay, so there is a lot to hit, by the way. So, and in order to any of the system to work, by the way, someone has to write the code. Okay, or if system is writing the code, someone has to evaluate the code. If system need to write the code, someone has to tell what need to write. Okay, So the things will be there. So don't worry about too much on that. So that's okay. And coming to the roles and responsibilities of the DevOps engineer, by the way. So your role is to manage the infrastructure where your application is running. Okay, the cloud, wherever you're running and all. And also you have a CI/CD, by the way, right? So that means managing the microservices. So there is something called a CI/CD. You'll see that in detail in the training. What is CI/CD and all, what is the need of it and all. And automation and scripting as well. So your core role is all about automation. And finally, so security for DevSecOps, right? So this is the 4 foundational pillars for you need it to run your job, by the way. Okay. So now putting to the last session of the for today's agenda, or the last before thing of today's agenda, which is like tools that what you learn, tools that what I teach, by the way, right? Now somewhere the contract has to enable, right? So you are learning something, I'm teaching something. Okay. So that means what I'm supposed to teach is what that market is needed. And while you are also learning, by the way, you also should know what is market going on and what is the trend. And based on that only you have to learn. Okay. Now you go back and today you learn something which is even outdated thing. Okay. Doesn't value. Now there are, so there are so many people like us, by the way, opens the content and share, training content in a different way, right? So because now I am working for a company, I work on one tech stack. If I come back and teach you that tech stack only, right? That's what I'll do, right? I don't have a visibility on the outside world. What's happening, right? I can't go to each and every company and get the data, right? It's highly impossible for me. Okay. Or else I have to buy the data. So there are people who sells the data, Gartner and all, you can go and get the data, right? As a company, but they charge you millions of dollars. Okay. So you can't actually get that. We can't afford as an individual also. That means what I know, what in my company using, okay, that much only I can come and teach, right? But there's a whole world out there. I don't know what is going on out there, right? So for me, it is a very difficult task to determine, yes, this is what I need to teach. And the same thing applies to you as well, right? As an individual, you are learning something, and what you should learn, okay, is also a very important thing. And that's where now both the things avoid the confusion. Now both of us need to have some relief, and because there is a community called as Roadmapsh. Okay, so this Roadmapsh is a community, by the way, so which is ranked as 6th place in the GitHub as well. Okay, so on the number of likes and all. So here there's a community. Okay, you can also join that community if you're interested. So you can join here. So when you actually join, you'll see the discussions going on. Okay, so now there is a different roles for different. There's a different roadmaps for different roles, different skills and everything. So DevOps is one of that. Oh, I think AI engineer also they added it. So DevOps is one of that. Okay. So DevOps is, this is what is the different verticals they're telling. So what I do is simple. We'll simply cherry pick each and every vertical over here. Okay. And we constructed a syllabus. Okay. This is our roadmap from that roadmap. Okay. So now what is the roadmap that we are going to have here is, okay, each and every vertical, whatever they have. So now learn a programming language. So they're telling Python or Golang you can use. So this programming language is not for a developer way, by the way. So it doesn't matter which language you pick, but it's important to learn at least one because you'll be able to use that to write automation. Because in order to write automation, these guys would be able to help you in a better way. Okay. So that's where Python is there in our syllabus. Operating system, we have Linux. Okay. So terminal knowledge also as anyhow as a part of Linux only will learn. Okay. So, and also you have a scripting, by the way. So shell scripting you will learn. And so you have version control systems, Git is there. And VCS, we use GitHub. Containers, you will learn Docker. Okay. And how to set up a project, by the way. So we'll see all these concepts like this one and even protocols also you will see. Okay. So some of these things, how do you host, how do you access the web page? Nginx is also part of our project. You'll see that. And here also you'll see what is, you'll deal with DNS, you'll deal with HTTPS, you'll deal with the security, you'll deal with the SH protocol. All these you'll deal with in our project. Okay. Now coming to the cloud provider, so you have AWS. Okay, this is our course, AWS we picked up. And also we picked up, so these guys are actually telling some suggestion. The recommendation from the community is purple color, alternative is this. Okay. So that's where we will pick up again in one place, like let's say in the cloud provider, they're giving 3 purples. We can't actually put 3 in the same training. Now here is where I'll use little of my brain to pick it up. Okay, according to the need. So that's where AWS. And serverless, anyhow, you will deal with the AWS Lambda and all is there. Now, provisioning, by the way, so we have Terraform in the syllabus, configuration management, we have Ansible, CI/CD tools, you have GitHub Actions, secret management, we have Vault, infrastructure monitoring, we have Prometheus, Grafana, log management, you have Elasticstack, and orchestration tools, we have Kubernetes in the syllabus. Application monitoring, we are taking New Relic. Artifact management, we are use Artifactory. GitOps we do is Argo CD. Service mesh we use is Istio, and some patterns, by the way. So that covers everything. And apart from that, we have security aspects also we added. So they just gave only service mesh Istio, but we also have code security, and we talk about MTLS and all, so which is network security. And also, okay, so Trivy and all we deal with. So that's where we talk about infra security. Okay. So, and the web firewall and all we talk about, so which is the application protection as well. Okay. So there are different securities which is involved. So these also will cover as a part of the training. So the training goes in the top down order. So we start from Linux, we start with the project only immediately. While we start, when we start with the project, then automation need will cover. And that's where containers will start. So the whole session will talk about Kubernetes majorly. The project also we start from the very starting until the end of the training is all about the project. And we start with the AWS in the when you're starting learning the Linux itself. Throughout the learning of different concepts, there's a need of AWS, and we'll learn the AWS. AWS will be there throughout the training. You will learn something. Okay, always. So this is how we are actually having our content. With this particular content, so the roles you are going to target is either you can become a DevOps engineer, DevSecOps engineer, site reliability engineer, a platform engineer, a cloud engineer, application engineer, any of the engineering roles you can target, generalizing. Okay, that's right. Okay. So taking it from roadmap.sh, we constructed we cherry picked from there and constructed the things here. And as a part of the training, by the way, you will also get a lab sessions as well every day from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. There is a lab session will be there. So a window will be there. So me and my team will help you if you have any questions there. So most of the time in the live session, you will not get questions. Why? Because first time you are learning, the max you can ask is, okay, so I did not understand this. That much only you can do, right? So apart from that, you will not be able to, have any cross questioning generally. Okay. But lab session, when you start doing the practice, you'll get a lot of questions because you're doing on your own. Okay. You'll recall the concept. So you will miss certain things. Okay. You do some mistake, you need help, by the way, definitely. So that's where the lab sessions will provide you. And also will give you the big project, by the way. The project which you are going to have is 11 microservices project. It itself is a little extensive one for training. Okay. So we can't go for 100, 200 like a company, because this is training. We have to time bound something. And also we can't go with 1 or 2 because we already know the seriousness. You need somewhere to take some extra mile. So that's where the project I'm taking is a little extended project. And the videos you're going to get as a lifetime access, by the way. And that means like you will get the videos lifetime, right? So you'll have access to the videos every day after the session, maybe 1.5 hours of time, you will have the video recording available. And the next is, so we anyhow talk about the project. We'll convert that project in a resume format, and we'll help you in building up your resume. Okay. So that comes to the, the last part for today's training. And The training starts from tomorrow, and if you have any questions, there's a raise hand option. You can click on raise hand, and I'll come to you one by one. Okay, so slowly. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
My name is Jagdish. I am from Nellore.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, they have offline sessions.
It is only online.
Okay.
Good morning, Raghu.
Yeah. Hi.
I'm a 2022 pass out candidate, and I have 1 year of experience as an multi-cloud support engineer from SIFI, and then half year as an project engineer. Like now, I'm currently on free. Like I'm not in working anymore. Like, will this course help me to get a job like a perfectly a DevOps engineer role?
Yes.
Because I don't I have already passed out at 2022 as I had a 3 years gap, like 1.5 year of gap. Like I don't want to get it extended. So
Yeah. So this covers the the rich content of about the DevOps. So it would not be a problem on the content side.
and one more thing, I'm not onto developing part, not into coding part as much. I'm not interested to it. So can I take up this course and do it as well?
So you're literally saying I'm not interested. So then what can I tell?
I'm not interested in the coding part, not a DSA who can solve multiple DSA questions.
DSA is not part of, you're not doing an app development. Whoever writes a code is not only the developer, by the way. You need to understand, right? So there are many dimensions. So like let's say you go to a newspaper also, he also writes the content only, right? Or text only he writes it. He also writes. Okay. So for me, that is I mean, like let's say that's a new script, or you go to a movie, he writes a movie script, or you go to the development, he writes an app script, and you come to the infra, you run an automation script, right? But everything is not same. That has its own context. So we do automation. And code is necessary. If you are feeling that I don't want to do the code, you're in the wrong place. Engineering roles are uh, will not value anything without a coding part. So which means you need to write automation. I'm unable to hear you.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi. I'm
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah, you're on.
Uh, I've been into IT for more than like 3 years. I was passed for 2021 by so time. Joined in IT 2022. After training part, everything that initial phase, I've been into bench period around for 3 months. Then I got in a project like front end role, but I was training back. So basically, they shuffled many times. Like they first kept me in business analyst roles, like testing and business requirements, the dealings and all. Then now they're keeping me in the front end developer. So I don't want to get into this, development part. So one of my friends suggests like uh, I was also in that phase. So now I completely transition to as a DevOps engineer. He's not a friend. He's just like I met him. So he told me to, just go through join DevOps once. If you they will start any batch and just ask if you have any questions on her. So currently I do have 3 years of experience, and based on the only question I do have is whatever I learned from this particular course, the project-based scenario that I can explain to interview. Right? I mean, if I go to any interviews, that would be helpful, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, and actually that was the only question because I am switching my complete domain as a front-end engineer to DevOps. So they will ask hell hectic questions with 3 years of experience if I go in interview. So those projects will be capable, right? Sir?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only doubt I have. Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Hi, Raghu.
Yeah.
Raghu, myself, Gautam. So, just wanted to check, see, I've been working as a quality analyst, so it's a different from the IT department. So, if I join this course, yeah, I'm wanted to learn this DevOps course. So, from the scratch, you will be teaching, right? So, will it be helpful for me to transition to this DevOps role?
What was your designation on paper?
Senior associate.
That should be fine. You should be able to.
Should be able to, right? So you will be teaching from the scratch, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Thanks, Raghu. Thanks.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, you are right.
Okay, so I got this invite via channel. So I am not sure what exactly the program is. Earlier I registered, but I was not part of any of the batch. So I just got an invite yesterday. So if you can like tell me what this course is all about. Is it I'm on a break since 3 years. Not break, I am not working because
You were
I
there from
lost
starting, right?
I lost my job in COVID time. Also, I was not able to perform. Post that, I didn't get joining anywhere on my existing profile. So I just got an invite, so thought to join it. But I'm not sure what exactly the session is all about.
That's what I'm asking. You were there from starting of this demo, right?
Yeah, I joined demo like little later. I saw it. It just want to know my profile is entirely into development and automation side.
So this is a DevOps training. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
To keep it very simple.
So it's a weekend batch
No, it's a weekdays.
and it's a hands-on or theory plus hands like what is the delivery mode?
So it's a more of hands-on only.
Okay, because I am like a fresher here. I have no clue of any of the thing.
That's okay. We start from scratch. Nothing to worry about.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
Sir, I have learned about AWS. I know this basic DevOps also,
Mm.
but companies generally require 6 months of experience. So, would you provide any 6 months training internship certificate of something?
Yes, we can do that.
Yeah, because companies don't generally recommend. At least they ask for 1 year of experience. So, how can I get that?
No, I don't think so. Any company will ask for minimum experience if you're applying as a fresher, by the way.
I have learned that AWS also. I have passed the certification associate, AWS associate solution architect.
That certificate
But
is which associate?
AWS certified solution architect.
But that was designed for a solution architect, right? Not for you.
But it covers almost all basic AWS services.
Yeah,
I
that's the
learned that.
question. By doing that, what you understood? Now, are you in a position to architect anything?
No. I'm generally I want to learn something advanced, so I'm asking you that.
No, you need to understand my question in a different way. So you took a course which is not
Yeah.
designed for you.
Yeah.
At least that much are you clear?
Yes, sir.
So solution architect associate course is designed for a person. I already have this different roles, right? So as a part of an engineer. So there's an architect here.
Yeah.
Okay. So whoever is doing the architect job already, okay. So now you go and learn that AWS Solution Architect Associate and Professional course that helps you in architecting in AWS.
Okay, but I saw that job profiles. They are asking about this certification, so I did that in DevOps job also.
I am surprised, because
Yeah.
I mean, at least if you read the course, you know who actually is you can learn. Okay, it is designed for them. It's not for you, right? You now my whole point is you did a course which is not designed for you. You gain the knowledge, but how you want to use that knowledge is a question,
So
right? Now you go for
that's
a
why.
job. Now you go for a graduate, right? You'll not say that I'm a solution architect. Okay.
Yes.
So solution architect means there are many things. Now this roadmap.sh also has some architect course also somewhere. Okay. So now you need to understand, so software architect, let's say, now you should be doing all these particular things. Okay. If you know all these particular things, especially the patterns, okay. So by knowing all these particular things, you become a solution architect. For you, okay, if any of the guy is architect here, one part is cloud, by the way. Where is this? Somewhere the cloud will be there. So, cloud design patterns. So for this small part you have done, you'll not become an architect. No one told you that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the problem of the market. Okay. So whoever
I
is
want to mix this knowledge. I want to mix this knowledge with DevOps. So I want to move to DevOps. So I'm asking.
So DevOps engineer is one thing. Like engineering roles will be there for graduates as well. Starting with graduates, starting with lower experience also, you'll have it.
Yeah.
But the solution architect is not the right one. But the knowledge will be useful. I'm not denying if you really learned it, by the way. So, but that only is like, you should understand. You also should have got some questions that, I go and create an EC2 box, and for this EC2 box, I'll become an architect. Just as a bare example, I go and create a S3 bucket, by the way. So by doing that, can I become an architect? Self-questioning only, right? Did you not got any of that, by the way? I'm just explaining a little bit more in
it requires actually a lot of experience in working. So, but I want to start with DevOps.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, will you provide any 6 months of certification so that I can apply some?
The answer is yes. Very simple answer. We already told long back.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Raghu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Ashwini here. Actually, I have a 4 years experience in cybersecurity as a security analyst. So after that, I have a 2 years of career break. It's like due to maternity and all. So now I am thinking to convert my experience as a DevOps and like try for an opportunity in a DevOps role. So is it works like is companies will accept the career gaps and so that I can move forward as a DevOps engineer?
For women, the answer is always yes, by the way. Yeah. So it's as simple as that. But again, when you're reappearing, by the way, so how much you are actually presenting to them is very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's based on the interview performance and all, right?
Yeah, ultimately, like there's no reason that, even I have a career gap. Let's say I go for an interview, whatever the reason it is, I got one interview. Okay. Someone at least consider that and call me an interview. I should not lose it.
Yes. My question is like, anyway, the career gap reason is valid. So I can try for like, I have a genuine, like, I have a 2 years of career break. So due to maternity and all. So that I can say and
Yeah. That's what I'm telling again. See, for you, in the worst case, you applied for 100 jobs. One guy still gave you a call.
Okay.
Okay,
Even
give an
the call
interview.
will be down. Call will be down, right?
What is down? Sorry.
Like call will be less.
Assuming. Okay, just assume. Let's assume call is less only. Okay, I wanted to touch this point at the core, by the way, right? So when you got applied for 100 interviews, even though there is a one interview, okay, you got it by whatever the reason it is, luck or whatever it is, you got one interview, right? Now you should be in a position to prepare that you can't lose that. That means you should be, convincing with your knowledge only, end of the day. Now, whoever is having gap or no gap, by the way, so they go through the interview process. Okay, they have to, mesmerize with their knowledge, and ultimately, like, there is no reason that others should deny you, right? And also, companies generally, like, so the companies like where I work for, okay, so we have the exclusively Wapasi program also. So yeah, so it's all about bringing back the women who have breaks, by the way, for whatever it is, whatever the reasons it is.
Okay. Oh, like what is Wapasi?
I mean, it's just our program name, by the way. It's all about bringing the women back to the work. Okay.
Okay.
So it's all like that only. Okay. Now let's say I can refer you here, no doubt in that. Okay. But also again, if you're not able to keep up in that interview, the initial screening call.
Yeah, that I got it.
That's why there are a few companies actually who does this program exclusively. Women bringing back to the work. I know Tech Mahindra, Techem does this a lot actually. So yeah.
So before my experience is in security analyst as a in cyber security.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone? Any other questions?
Hi. Sorry that I haven't asked this question. Classes will start from tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And payment, we do have EMS.
Morning 7:30 to 9.
Oh, 7:30.
Yeah.
And through payment gateway, we do have EMS, right?
Sorry?
For the payment.
You can talk with the organizers. Any technical things I can help you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Not yet. Sorry.
Hi Raghu, this is Prashant.
Yeah.
So actually we are going to use the n number of tools right here with the DevOps training. So we could use the environment overall in the web, or like we're gonna install it on locally in our machine. So this question is due to like I'm using my company laptop for attending these trainings. I do not have any personal laptop.
Yeah, you're learning cloud, and cloud can't be replicated in the local environment. So everything that we do is runs on cloud, because that's how the real-time world runs, right? So we do start with the practices of real world from day one only, or day two, kind of a thing. So we'll not have anything in local. In local, still we'll be having. There's only two things that you will have. One is also doesn't require any installation. The second one is only the editor. We need to write the code. We need to install editor. It's as simple, and any company should allow that.
So editor like VS, like
Yeah, any editor of your choice. I don't mind.
Okay, got it.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, my question is, do we get any tasks or assignments after each class, or we just rewatch the video and practice along?
So here we do follow something called as greenfield approach. So that means I don't bring anything which is pre-developed kind of a thing or pre-setup kind of a thing. Okay. So I can do this training like this. I can just already prepare everything. I can explain that as a theory that, hey, this is working like this is working like that. And I can give an assignment to do that. Okay, that is one way of doing it. But what I do is I don't prep anything in the session. Whatever I am supposed to do develop, by the way, I'll do in the training. And that means I'll try to achieve certain thing or solve certain problem, by the way. And in your lab also, you have to replicate the same thing. So that means whatever I do literally, you have to do it literally in your lab as well. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? I don't see any more hands. I see one question.
Yeah, hi Raghu. Good morning.
Yeah.
Can you please tell me something about regarding the professional certification? Actually, my company is giving the voucher to do the professional certification regarding this AWS.
There is a DevOps AWS DevOps certification is there. You can go for it if companies offer.
Okay. They're asking particularly for professional certification. Is there anything? I mean, can I know
DevOps,
the names of the
DevOps? No, there are categories of certifications. Okay. So there is a professional category, by the way. Inside that, DevOps is already there.
Okay. Okay.
So in the categories part, by the way. So like this categories will be. So now if you're looking for a professional, there is a solution architect professional and DevOps engineer professional also is there. So if company is offering, to do a professional thing, so with this course, you can target the DevOps engineers.
DevOps engineer. Okay. I mean, even I also browsing for the same. I got the two options there: solution architect and DevOps engineer. If we attend this course, we can able to, solve that exam, or
Yes,
can we
you
get
should
the
be.
knowledge?
You should be able.
Thank you. But please, can you share this course content to the WhatsApp group?
You can ask the organizer for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So someone would have texted you, right? So just reply to that message.
Okay. Thanks.
I see some couple of questions on the chat. I'm having 2.5 years of experience as VMware administrator. After completing of this course, should I start as a fresher? No need. You're already having a virtualization knowledge. So I'm hoping your designation is already an engineer role. So you can go ahead and so keep this experience as that experience, and you can move on. Someone asked, can we complete the CKA certification with this course? This course is all about CKA plus. Okay. So what you get in CKA is a very, very, very basic of Kubernetes. Okay. Here we do a lot of things because we are running the project. CKA is never meant for a project way, right? So they just explain the concepts. They don't drive it in reality, right? So this you will do much better way. So it's okay. And what is the Slack community? So Slack is just a channel for your chatting, by the way, with any other folks, which I don't actually encourage much as a practitioner, because see, you waste your time, right? Now you go and talk to a person who can't solve your problem just for the sake of discussion. If you make that, there's no use, right? Rather than that, we have a lab session, direct interactive. You can talk directly. So where who can solve your problem directly. So better is the live discussion only. So then rather than just doing some chit chatting, right? So I personally don't like it, but we have the channel too. Okay. Prachi, you raised your hand. Do you have any question?
So I was saying that I was on tech stack of Java, Selenium, Web Services, Test Engine, Cucumber, but due to gap, so there are challenges. Also, whenever I go for interviews, they need cloud. I mean DevOps part, and cloud as knowledge and mandate. So altogether, I am not able to get the offer letter. So can this program make me able to work, or it will be just knowledge transition, or any
Course is
certification will I get out
this
of it?
course is designed for a person who want to go and work as a DevOps engineer. So I'm targeting that audience.
So one has to install the setup, it means, right, in the laptop, and then you will provide the kit, this
No, we don't
training.
run anything in laptops. We run everything on cloud only.
I mean online.
In cloud, yes, online.
Using my laptop, I'll be on online labs.
Yes, nothing in
Okay.
local.
So, did you get my concern? Whenever I go for my tech stack, that is fine. That is okay with them. But because I don't know this part and no hands on, so I cannot work with the stakeholders. So that's why I am not job ready. So it's been struggle of 2 to 3 years. I tried to study on my own, but it was like all like black and white for me. I was not able to do it. So once this is done, so can I use it as an add-on skill for me?
Yes, the answer is yes, by the way. So if you're looking for just for knowledge purpose to communicate in
No, no.
communicate with
I know I want it for hands-on purpose, not only for knowledge purpose,
yeah,
because they want only knowledge, but that is not going to help. I mean, if you are learning, it should be hands-on.
yeah. So like I already mentioned, so this course is targeted for the person who is going to really go and work and do the hands-on. So
Uh-huh.
that means it's already a hands-on.
Okay, fine.
Hello.
Yeah.
Raghu, is there any batch planned for from 6 to 7:30 like that morning, or I have
Uh,
been
yeah,
time?
yeah. So it will become after 2 months of time. So there's already one slot going on, another batch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Raghu, like I just wanted to check, like, do we get any certificate by doing this course?
Yes, you'll get the course completion.
Okay. So, okay, for this batch, we have only one timings, right? 7:30 to 9.
Correct. Correct.
We don't have any evening slots.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone? Any other questions?
Hello. Raghu, so these are recording sessions, right?
No, these are live session, by the way. So
Live
after live session, you'll get the recording as well.
Oh, after the live sessions, we'll get the recordings.
Correct.
Those are for lifetime, right?
Yeah,
Or
it's
any
for
inspiration?
lifetime.
Okay.
Correct. Good. I don't see any more hands. If any questions, I can answer. Otherwise, we're good to.
Hello, how are you, Raghu?
Hey, I'm good.
Okay,
Tell me.
this is Ganesh. This is most of the practical driven or theory. Generally, you can explain it, that thing.
For me, there is no theory, by the way. See, how I do is, if you look at that roadmap also, I mean, I'll be going like this in this manner. So here, if you look in here, right? So there's a project. Okay. So in the very starting, we'll do the project. So now once after I do the project, so what I'll do is we'll list down all the problems, by the way. So for an example, I'll show you a running, how you do in the organization, we'll literally do in the same manner. For an example, I'll go to a running batch. And if you see the, yeah, my board, by the way, so there are a lot of problems for, there are a lot of problems. Okay. And we'll start working on these particular problems and we will complete, let's say if I go to a completed training. So by end of the training, everything becomes green, by the way. So we'll take the problems, okay, and we'll try to solve those particular problems. So that means it literally in an organization, how we do in a practical way. So we'll do, I mean, in a backlog way, right? So you'll have a backlog and you'll work on the backlog. Here also my problems is a backlog and I'll work on the backlog. So it's going to be completely hands-on. And what you're doing, you'll have a clear context of the problem and you're trying to solve that particular problem. And while solving the problem, a tool learning will come into picture, will teach you helping in that particular tool, and immediately we'll try to solve the problems. So that's how it is going.
But most of in the AWS will cover into the free tier. This one, whatever you be doing in the cloud, but is most of covers into free tier.
Free tier won't be helpful, at least for my training, because I'm not teaching one floor, right? That's what I already told. So, okay, one floor building, okay, you can get it, but we are actually running a big project here. So because keeping the context in the mind that, you have hundreds of microservices in your companies, at least you should understand a little scale. Okay. So free tier is not enough for our training.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when my screen got paused, by the way. Have you seen
And
it?
some of I saw that one in the video training. Some topics is we want to see the like video training. That is the one, or go CD or something.
Not sure.
But I saw that one. They Argo CD and some is they only told in the video training only, and not in the live sessions.
No, that is Jenkins now.
Jenkins, okay. I think it's Argo CD.
This is Jenkins, if you see. The off session
Oh,
video.
only, oh, maybe I
Yeah.
saw the word one. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's only Jenkins. Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Jenkins is the certification system.
Sorry?
Jenkins is the certification.
Voice is someone separate. Can you come again?
Off session means, it will not cover in the live session, right?
Yeah, we'll provide the recordings. Correct.
Oh,
Because I am already told my principal, right? So I'm getting the content from roadmap. In these actually, these guys actually has removed Jenkins, by the way. Okay, they kept only GitHub Actions. They removed Jenkins from the priority of the learning. So I had to follow that. And while Jenkins is widely used, we are preparing off-session contents as well, where you get the access to. So where certain alternate topics were actually, like let's say for an example, a log management, we teach Elastic Stack, but there's also a low key, by the way, right? So now how you do the same project with the low key. So we'll help you in, so some recordings on what is low key and how do you do the project on low key, the same project. So that you're at any point of time later, when you want to refer also, it will be helpful. So that's what we are trying to do behind. You're on mute if you're talking. Anyone? Any other questions?
Hey Raghu, so while ongoing with this particular sessions, do we get any like documents, or we need to go with the running notes or these kind of things?
Running notes is your choice. If I were you, I usually write it. Anything, by the way, certain important things or whatever it is. I'll maintain notes, my personal choice. Okay.
Okay.
So that
No,
again
like,
doesn't mean that I want to force you for that. So it's
no. I'm just asking if we say like if it comes to Kubernetes.
official documentation.
Yeah.
I don't need a separate pocketbook.
Yeah. Does you guys provide like any official documentation?
Official only. There is official, I'm telling you.
No, like, do you guys provide to us like?
No, official. Official means I go to kubernetes.io. Here is a documentation. We'll refer this documentation. The source of truth is very important, right?
Got it.
So we'll go with the official document. Any tool we take it, we will go with the official documentation.
Okay, if we say for AWS, like how to create an EC2 bucket, like these things, we'll just refer the official document.
Official only, everything official. I don't want to make a side note because side notes will reduce your scope of learning, by the way.
Okay.
So suddenly today, I actually opened the roadmap data search. All of a sudden, I have seen there is an AI engineer role also came into picture. I didn't know this. Okay. And immediately I opened it, right? So now the Kubernetes also, there is some officially they are releasing something. If I maintain my own nodes, how do you sync, by the way? Right?
Correct.
Right. So you will lose the knowledge from the market. So you should not do that. Or I'll never personally encourage that, by the way. So I will always go with the official and will understand from the official documentation. We'll read it thoroughly. What is our problem? We'll read it thoroughly and we'll understand this is a solution. We'll go and implement. It's as simple as that.
Cool.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, how much of Python we are going to learn here?
There is no such thing called as how much Python. Okay, how much Python you end up means in the next 20 years you are end up with Python only. Learning
No,
only.
I mean required for DevOps.
It's not like that. No. Your first of all, your understanding is wrong, by the way. See how much of Python you need to do. You actually flip the, I wanted to tell you another dimension saying that how much of your requirement is important, that is directly proportional to you, how much your Python. If you're writing a very small hello world program, your Python is 2 lines. Okay.
No, I mean that what is required for learning DevOps.
You can't tell that. Your understanding, your questioning is wrong, by the way, because there is no such thing, right? See, your problem is a small one. Your Python code is small. Okay. Now, if I say 10 lines, now tomorrow your requirement is very big, by the way, you ended up with 1,000 lines. My answer is wrong, right?
No, I saw that syllabus that is talking also about. You have mentioned that on the website. So it is showing some topics about Python also.
Correct. So those are the core concepts of Python. So, but those are not enough actually. If you go to the pypi.org, so you are having 6,44,000 projects are there.
So those are mentioned in the syllabus. Those only we
Those
are.
can't be mentioned in the syllabus.
Okay.
That's what you need to understand. Your questioning and your thinking is wrong, by the way. Your requirement, you learn the core of the Python. Okay, how to deal with the Python. You will learn. Okay.
Okay.
And after that, that will not help you anything. Okay. Now, I mean, I'll put it in a very funny way. Don't take me wrong. Like, let's say,
Okay.
I am a cab driver, let's say,
Yes.
or I'm a lorry driver. Okay. If I ask you a question that, like, let's say if you ask me a question, okay, how much driving will be there for a lorry driver? Okay. Now, if I'm going, 30 days, 18 hours I'm driving. So that means I have to multiply that number. Now my job is also, telling that, you'll get 10 days leave. Okay. So 10 days, half day only you will drive, all those particular things. It changes, right? So the Python as a core that you need to know it. Okay. But however, after that depends upon your requirement. So some of the modules you had to come to the pypi.org, I mean, the official documentation. You have to take that particular module and you have to do that. For an example, like let's say your Python program is to deal with YouTube, let's say. Okay. I want to upload a video to YouTube. That's a requirement. Okay. Now you come here, you type YouTube, you'll find the YouTube related documents. Now you go here and you read it and you use it. Okay.
Okay. So by seeing documentation, we have to use that.
You have to, right? Now that means your requirement is that you come here and do that. Now I am telling like, YouTube plus WhatsApp as an example. Okay. Now YouTube plus WhatsApp plus cloud. Okay. Now your code will slowly increase. Now depends upon the requirement. The code will grow. Depends upon the requirement, the code will come less. Requirement is the major thing for you to determine how much of the Python.
So in real time, we do this way, that we go to the documentation for learning.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Raghu, I know you were sharing the Jenkins pre-recorded sessions. In place of that, what is the latest tool that we are going to focus as part of this training? I see
GitHub Actions.
GitHub Actions and Agro CD something. Yeah.
Yeah, Arco CD is a GitOps tool, but yeah, GitHub Actions is the pipeline.
That is the most widely used nowadays in projects, sir.
Yeah, GitHub is backed by Microsoft, so they're pushing in many organizations behind the scene. So it has its own advantages. Yes. But anyhow, it's again the same thing, right? Even though I'm giving Jenkins videos, by the way, but try to understand is it like this. Driving means. Now, how does it matter, which company car you are driving? Options will be different, plus and minus, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So once you understand one pipeline concept, the other pipeline also is the same thing. But you just need to understand what all the features they are offering, how they are dealing with that. All those particular things you need to understand. That's a very simple.
Okay. And also we are going to learn in terms of deploying microservices applications using Kubernetes.
Yeah.
Cluster and all, right?
Not only deploying, we deal with the high available microservice.
Security.
High security microservice. And highly scalable microservice. We cover three concepts in the project.
Okay.
Yeah, that will take weeks of effort. If I'm just talking about only the, only the deployment part, I think the course can be cut down from 3.5 months to easily to 2.5 months easily. Okay.
Oh.
But we go with the run behind the scalability, availability perspective. I have to do a lot of, lot of load tests, by the way, to determine that stage, covering all the concepts or all the dimensions of the problem. So that's where one day you will see that, the service will not go at any cost. Now you eventually feel how the, any company, like you name it, like Google or Facebook, how they may be doing behind the scene that without impacting the users.
I mean, which kind of project we are going to?
So we'll have an e-commerce project, by the way. So just for the namesake, we kept e-commerce, but if you remove that e-commerce layer, is all some microservices. So Java microservice, Node.js microservice is there, Golang is there, Java is there. Okay, UI React is there, Angular is there. Okay. So it covers all those things.
Okay.
Okay. I don't see any more hands. All right. Okay. All right. No questions. Then we can wrap it up. So tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. So we'll be starting with the live session. So we'll proceed with the sessions, by the way. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Good day. Good night.